So here is my thoughts on week 18, 2024, the early window games, and the Saturday. Yes. And we have the Kansas City Chiefs. They got a big win over the Houston Texans. It was a big, massive win. Kansas City needed. I mean, they won another one, so they clinched the number 1 seed because they have 2 games now to win 1. That's if Buffalo beats New England in the light window. Kansas City will improve. Well, if they win 1 of 2 games, they'll clinch the 1 seed over Buffalo. Yeah. And Houston did not play a bad game, but just Chiefs closed out in that one. The Baltimore Ravens look pretty dominant in this one over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, you just had, especially you had Henry's 160 yards and 24 runs. That really helped. Baltimore get the win over Pittsburgh. We had the NY Giants fall 34-7. Atlanta win 34-7. That was a big win for Atlanta. Atlanta needed a win. Atlanta had a couple wins. Had some losses in a row. Bunch of losses. They were in the division. Pretty handily. I thought it was going to be theirs to take it. And they just all of a sudden kind of made it competitive with this Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's in control right now. But Atlanta would have a Tampa Bay losing, but if they ended the same record, Atlanta would have it. So, because of Atlanta's 2 wins over Tampa Bay. But man, Michael Penix Jr., he played in place of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got benched. And they wanted to try out the rookie, see what he goes. And then you have Drew Lock, he went 22-3, 20 yards, a touchdown, 2 receptions. Penix Jr. went for 18-27, 22 yards, a touchdown, a reception, right? I mean, problem was he just got a couple pick success on the defense. The Falcons defense did, and that's really what hurt. And my Giants, otherwise it may have been a lot more closer. And Penix did not have the best first start of but it wasn't a bad first start though. You always gotta start somewhere, and he did play pretty well though. But he did have an interception, but he still played pretty decent. He still played pretty well though. And they just went all right. Detroit rolls over Chicago 34-17. We looked down, except in the second quarter, Chicago got the rhythm, but fourth quarter, neither team really got their rhythm too much. But off was pretty good. 336 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 23 completed passes, 32 attempts. Gibbs had 100 yards running the football, 23 runs, and a touchdown. Williams had 143 yards catching, receiving, catching, 5 catches, touchdown. Allen had 9 catches, Herbert has a touchdown. In the rushing game, just couldn't get going when your quarterback is the lead rusher on your team. That's not good. It's not good. And yet, the Carolina Panthers, the Arizona Cardinals, a huge stunner. Arizona. You would think they would want to keep pace for the division, but which they did. But because they weren't playing for a wild card. Maybe if Washington lost, but we'll see if Washington lost today. Arizona might be playing for a wild card, but we'll see how that goes. Right now, so the dark horse for a wild card, but we'll see how it goes. How that game shaped up later. But Carolina played really well. Carolina had 358 yards, 2 touchdowns for Brett Young. Hubbard had 25 runs, 153 yards running, and 2 touchdowns. Both teams played well. It was just at the end of the game, in the momentum battle in overtime, Arizona had it late to kick the field goal, then Carolina got everybody hit the momentum battle, and Carolina got it with a touchdown to win in overtime 36-3, and that was a big win for Carolina. Getting a win as with the LA Rams winning, it knocks Arizona out of the contention, and knocks Arizona out of contention for the NFC West. That's right. The LA Rams were down. It was 9-6 at halftime. It was kind of a sloppy game. And my Jets had this was the feature in Mary. It was a pretty sloppy game. And they kicked scored touchdown. Both teams used up most of the first quarter clock on their drives. And then my Jets made 6-0 at the end quarter, first quarter. Then LA got the momentum, but missed the extra point. Their extra point made it 6-0. Then my Jets made it 9-6 with a field goal late. But then in the fourth quarter, there was just a big fumble recovery, and my Jets, and that made it fifth. That made it. It was 9-9 with a field goal. That made it 15-9 with a touchdown, and 16 at the extra point, and then just a late field goal to seal it. The 5:17 to go in the fourth, and that did it. And it was from a fumble, Aaron Rodgers' fumble on a strip. It was a strip sack fumble by Aaron Rodgers. And Stafford did not play that well. He only had 18 yards. 10 yards. Touchdown interception. Hams, 23 cut runs, 102 yards, touchdown. That was like that. 28-42, 250 touchdown for Rodgers. Rodgers didn't. They played well, but they just couldn't get the scoring going. And there's key down, like third down, fourth down. They were just in like third down, fourth down a good bit. And they just couldn't convert on like the key downs. They could, but when they had to go for it, they had turnovers on downs and stuff like that. They were just being aggressive, and they had nothing to lose going for the touchdowns instead of the fields. But that's what happens. And then sometimes, and the LA Rams win. The Washington Commanders, they upset the Philadelphia Eagles 36-33. It was a huge first quarter by Philadelphia over Washington. Untouchable runs, and then early in the first quarter, Jalen Hurts exited with a concussion, and he went to the tent, the blue tent that they have on the field for teams, for Nate Village, and they kind of cover up so like the other team doesn't see or no one sees it. And Washington came back. They were down 21-14 to half. Then 22 points, and they scored 22 points. They were 27-14 down. Philadelphia was with 2 field goals in the third. But then they scored 22 points to make it a 36-33 game. and they just had 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. With a 2-point conversion. And Jayden Daniels had 5 touchdowns in this game. 5. For 24, 30, 24 yards, 5 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions. But he had 5 touchdowns. And then they also had 5 turnovers. Washington did. And then I believe. And that was pretty solid game for Washington. I mean, they need to clean up the turnovers a little bit. I believe. They do, but they won. That's all you can ask for. Philadelphia Washington has a chance to win number 1 seed. Or not the number 1, but they have to play Atlanta on Sunday, and they have to play Dallas. And then Philadelphia plays Dallas, then NY Jets, I believe. Yes. Both in Philadelphia, both from Philadelphia Eagles home fans. So Washington, Philadelphia, this one was winning one of those 2 games. And Philadelphia will clinch the NFC East division. The Cincinnati Bengals have a big win, 24-6 over the Cleveland Browns. The Cincinnati Bengals need this one. There's not much to say about this game. Just Thompson Robinson, he threw 2 receptions in the game. This really hurt him. And they had no Jameis Winston, who's their backup. Deshaun Watson. And so that's really what hurt him. Especially 2 receptions. 3 touchdowns for Joe Burrow. Played pretty well. Played pretty efficient. 23-32 for 3 touchdowns. Played pretty efficient game. Nothing much you want to say since they just need this win. Especially with the LA. Especially with Denver and LA Chargers. Tied at the same record. They need I'm hoping with Denver they can hopefully beat Denver. And then they have a big game against Pittsburgh last week of the season. The Denver game would be a Saturday showcase game on Dark 4:30 Eastern. So it's a big game. Then you have the Indianapolis Colts get a big win in Tennessee, trying to make a comeback in that fourth quarter. Scored 15, but Indianapolis had a big, huge 24 points to the second quarter and a 14-point third quarter. They were just big time run. Big, huge right there. Rudolph threw 3 interceptions. That's what I heard him. 24-34. 3 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Anthony Richardson, he had 7 of them passing. 103 yards, a touchdown reception. Usually that's kind of rare to see that in the NFL. But they relied on Jonathan Taylor, the running back. Ran 29 times, 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What a huge win for Indianapolis. Especially with the running game. And they beat the Tennessee Titans 38-30. And that's a huge win for Indianapolis. They need that one. Indianapolis does. Because if Indianapolis can win, if Indianapolis, they have a shot, they have a dark horse shot at making the wild card, but they do need. They lost the tiebreaker to Denver, so they have to hope for LA Chargers. They have to have the tiebreakers. LA Chargers fall away. They have a shot. They have NY Giants and they have Jacksonville, but they might be 9-8 though. Miss the playoffs. Just barely miss them by a game or so.